Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing cat from HackTheBox. This is a box for about solid medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'm starting by splitting my terminals here. I'm starting by doing a ping minus count for 3 for 10:10:11:53. We do get a response back from the server, so I'm starting with mmap scan. So I'll do mmissc for default scripts for information. Let's scan upwards of the IP. Doing this, I'll do minus v verbose. We do have a total of 2 ports open. Port 22 open for SSH and also port 80 open for HTTP. I'm going to start visiting port 80. Here we do get a host name for cat.htb. I'm going to put this into my /host. We'll do this for 10:10:11, I believe it's 11. Let's go back, 11:53. We'll do this for cat.htb. Refresh this. And now we do get a cat.htb. So here we do have a platform to showcase for cat's talent and beauty. So I'm going to start by visiting home. We'll go to vote, see if these lead to anywhere. They don't, we'll go to contest. We can create an account, can join, and we don't have anything under here. So before creating an account, I'm going to start by running a GoBuster. Go run terminals here. So I'll run a GoBuster. So the GoBuster to remote my student to the IP address. We'll do -w for user share word list. GoBuster directory list and we do medium.txt. We do extends HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Looking at the GoBuster, we have index.php. We do have a .git here. So maybe we can start by using git dumper. We can find this as a repository on GitHub. We have uploads, admin.php, and also that join.php. Before continuing or trying to register, we do have a .git. I'm going to open this. And we do get a forbidden. So I'm going to go to a git dumper. We'll search up this. We'll do this for GitHub. We can git clone the repository. So I'll just do git clone. We'll cd into git dumper. And we do have the git dumper.py. So I'm going to go back. I'll make a directory for dump. Cd into git dumper. We'll do a Python 3 for git dumper. We'll get this .git directory. We'll go back into dump, which we want to export it or get all the files under dump. I'll cd into dump, and we do have all the files under here. So we do have a couple of files. We have an admin.php. We'll check this config.php. And also I'm guessing it's going to be a document root for this competition page. I'm guessing this is just under like var www.html. And these are all the files listed under there. So we don't have anything under here. I'm going to check for a view_cat. Or cat is view_cat.php. We do have some echo here. We can check that out later on. Nothing in here. We do have a query here, which is getting from the database. So it's selecting cats from the username. From cat's join, users on cat's owner username, and just getting, finding out where, I guess it's getting the cat ID. So we get the cat ID from the URL and extract it from the database. Looking down here, we also do have echo here. So if we look into the photo path, this is echoing a cat name. So was this the one up here? That's the cat ID with the cat name. And we have the name, age, birth date, weight, owner, and created at. I'm going to check if this is under when we do join. So I'm just do this for proxy programmer. We'll just do proxy@gmail.com for pass. I'm going to, since these don't exist on the server, or this view cat.php, I'm guessing it's going to be when we are logged in through a session, right? Yeah, so it does tell us to register. So I'm just going to do this for proxy programmer. Do pass. Let's see if we can go to this view cat.php. And it's still telling us to, it's just redirecting. So I'll go to proxy programmer for pass. We'll go to vote. Contest. And I'm guessing this is going to be for the cat's name. So this is matching exactly for the cat name, age, birthday, weight. And we have a owner here, which is not specified. And I'm guessing the database is requesting for the username. However, it's not filtered. So this is probably being outputted since it does have the echo. This is outputting for, that's going to be outputted as JavaScript. So we can probably do like an XSS. So do XSS for payload all the things. We can go to XSS injection. Let's see if we can go into raw. Let's go here. Let's see if we can find a grabber. So here we can find the grabber for getting the document.cookie. So since this is being outputted into the HTML, we can actually, since there's no filtering, we can log in as the payload and get the document.cookie from admin. Since it is being outputted into HTML, when the admin does visit it, we'll get his cookie and then we can log in as admin. So let's start by doing that. So I'm going to put this into I'll just exit this out, into payload.txt. I'll go interactive mode. So here we can do a document.location. Basically, we can specify our IP address. What do I have? Config. We have this for 10.10.16.74. We want to take off, we'll just leave this grabber.php. Sometimes, usually if you don't have like a file, or this is only pointing to like a /, which is going to be for root, sometimes you won't get multiple cookies or you won't get multiple requests from admin. But so we'll just leave this grabber.php. We don't really need the grabber.php since this is all, this is another script to get the files or to get the cookies collected into a file. So we can just leave that grabber.php. For the parameter, we'll see this within the logs. So we can start like a Python server and then we'll get that document.cookie. So I'm going to quit. We'll get this payload.txt. We'll do a Python 3 -mhttp.server on port 80. We can do this on port 8081, but we'll just leave it as how the payload is. So we'll create a username. We'll get this for 10.10.16.74, which is for proxy programmer at gmail.com. We'll do this for pass. We'll go to account. We'll sign in as the payload. We'll do pass. Let's go to winners. We'll go to contest. I'm just do this for 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now we need a random image here. Let's get a random image. I just want the JPEG. So did we get this? Run that Python server one more time. We'll go to cat. We'll select that image. We can register cat. So now we can just wait. We can wait for admin to visit that page. And we get the PHP session ID for successfully got the XSS. So basically all admin did was when he did check, when he did visit, it is going to be embedded for XSS. So the JavaScript will execute and it will send execute in the browser and then send us his PHP session ID. We can go inspect, go to storage, replace our PHP session ID, refresh this, and now we are under admin. So looking back, just go to winners, go to contest. We don't have anything under here. We just do have the image that we did upload. We'll just leave this running. Hopefully this PHP session ID does not expire, but we'll just close it out since it's not getting the request anymore. But later on, if we do need other session, we can create another account. So I'm going to, we'll go into dump. I'm going to look into other files. We'll go into accept underscore cat.php. Nothing under here. We'll go to a config.php. Also has, let's go to accept underscore cat.php. So look at this. We have a request method as a post request. This is getting the cat ID and also the cat name. However, this is being inserted into an SQL query, and it's specifically mentioning the cat name as a direct variable. So most likely it's going to be SQL injection or blind SQL injection. For this, you should never insert the cat ID or the cat name into the query for the database. For there, we can enter our own query for SQL injection. So I want to see if this does exist on the server. We'll go to accept cat.php. Just redirecting, and seems like it's just redirecting. So I'm going to use SQL map. I'll do -u for, we'll just do HTTP. We'll do cat.htb. And we'll be getting that accept underscore cat.php. I believe we can do let's do SQL map. We'll do minus help for cookie. And we also need the, is there a header under here? Or let's check for parameters. So we can specify the parameter. So we do have a -p for parameters as well. So do SQL map for that. We'll do a minus cookie is equal to PHP session ID. This is going to equal to the session ID that we did get. We can refresh this. We'll do a -p for the parameter. We'll do -p for, I believe it was cat name. Do minus data as well. We'll specify the cat ID and also as well, we'll check what else there is. The cat ID and also the cat name. And we'll just put some random values for X. We'll do minus DBS. Run that one more time. The PHP session ID. Minus cookie. It seems like we got it. We'll do a minus tables. We're under accepted cats. So I guess we're under already the database, so we don't need to do that. We'll do a capital T for the table. Or for the, we're already on, yeah, we'll just do minus tables for users, and we'll do minus dump all. So we'll go under the tables. We'll do a minus batch. And we'll do a threads equal to 5, so we can speed up this process. Let's take off the minus batch. Let's do a minus dump just for that table. Hopefully the session didn't expire. Okay, so we didn't specify this in the file, or we also didn't want to crack this. We can also crack this ourselves. So we do have a Alex, Rosa, Robert. These are all the usernames as well. You also do see that we did register as it did inject in the database. However, it was mentioned since the, I believe it was the accept underscore cats, since it was accepting the query or injecting it directly or outputting onto the page, since it is under the page or under the HTML, the page does recognize this as JS, and that's how we're able to get the document.cookie. So instead of cracking this, I want to put this into Rainbow's table. Rainbow tables is already like specified hash for a matched password. So I'm just going to go to crack station. I want to put all these under here. We can go up to 20. We'll do the couple first of these. And we'll need to have it's going to be for Rosa Mendoza for the username. We do have port 22 open for SSH. So I'm SSH into Rosa for 10:11:53. We do have the password as this. Press it on that. We do ID, and now I'm into Rosa. So I'm going to copy the username, or I'm going to copy the password. I'll put this into my text editor for Rosa. Rosa for that password. We do ID, and now we're into Rosa. So I'll do ask my SLA. We don't have a user.txt. Go back. We do have a user as XL. Nothing here. We can go to Joe Burt. Nothing at all. I'm going to go under var. We'll go to www. We'll go to HTML. We'll go to cat.htb. And we don't have permission under there. Go into backups. Doing other backups. We'll go under opt. And nothing under here. I'll do sudo myself for last. Do the password. And we can't run anything as sudo. So working with this box, since we are working with logs, we're working with the PHP server to get XSS. I'm going to go under /var. Let's see if we can go to log. And we'll get this Apache 2. We'll get this access.log. I want to grep out for Excel to see if he does have a password. And he does have a password for under var log Apache 2 for access.log. We'll just get the username and his password. I'm gonna switch users to Excel. We do ID, and now under Excel. So I'm gonna do sudo mycel, enter his password. We can't run anything as sudo. We don't have any groups or any of that. We'll do ls-la, and we can cat as user.txt. So I'm gonna do ss-tailmvp, or you can also use also use psox as well, or not psox for you can use netstat as well. But there's the same options. And you can find the active connections on the machine. So we have default ports here: 53, port 22. Usually I like using for whole numbers, so basically anything for like 3000, port 8080, port 8000, or just like 443, or just anything that indicates that we do have a server. We do have port 3000, so I'm gonna exit out of here. So I'm gonna SSH into XL. We'll enter his password. Make sure that his password, we'll do SSH -L. Since we do have port 3000 open, I want to port forward this to my local machine. You can also use Chisel, or you can use SSH -L. So I'm going to port for this to port 3000 on my local host for 127.0.0.1 on 3000. We do get the password, do an mmap. We'll make sure that this port is open for 3000 for 127.0.0.1. If we do -CSV, we'll let this scan real quick. This is most likely going to be it's not going to find the version, but we'll find this for a web server for 3000. We visit this and we don't get anything. Let me X out this. We do have SSH MyCell. We misspelled it. We'll get his password one more time. Now we can visit it. We get a get T. Now if we run the mmap scan one more time, this should find out that this is running for get T. So going back, we'll just wait for that to finish. We can go to sign in. We do have a version of get T for 1.22.0 for get T. So I'm going to copy this. We'll go into exploit. We find that we have a stored XSS for a cross-site vulnerability. We'll go to view raw. So zooming in, we have a cross-site XSS vulnerability for an attacker to inject malicious script to get stored on the server and execute the context of another user's session. So you can log into the application. We can create a new repository, modify a repository by clicking settings, or we can either go into the description field and input the following payload for XSS. So let's first test this out. And then I already do have a payload that we need to test. So we'll start by doing that. So since we do have the username as XL, honestly, I can sign in as XL. If not, we'll do this for Rosa. And we're able to view for XL. So I'm going to go to new repository. We'll do this for test. I'm going to copy this XSS so you can see where this is being modified. So for admin to actually view this, I'm going to go under var log mail. We do Osman's layer, we do have an XL. So I'm going to cat this out. So looking at the mail, we do have a hi XL. We're planning to launch a new web service. We can send an email to Jobert at localhost with information about get to repository. The reason I do view this var mail is because there needs to be a way to execute this XSS. Since this is going to be since this is a CTF, there needs to be a way to trigger this XSS since we don't have a real person under administrator, or in this case, we have for, let's check for, we don't have a user for Jobert or someone as Jobert. So we can start by sending an email to Jobert at localhost with information about the get T. Down here, we have we're currently developing a employee management system, and they did give us a repository for some development under private get T, and we can visit the repository under our index.php. So let's start by doing that. So first I want to test for this XSS. So I'm just going to copy what is under here, and we'll see if this is actually injected into as JS. It's going to upload a new file. We'll do this for test. We'll do test. We can't edit the, let's go back. We'll go to test, new file. Go to commit changes. Go back. And you'll see that we do have the description as XSS for test. However, if we do use like a fetch for like an API fetch, you'll see that this will go back to our server. In this case, we do have the XSS, which is being rendered within that. If we do Control U, we even find that we have XSS, and you'll see the JavaScript alert for XSS test, which is the same payload on ExploitDB. So let's start by exploiting this. So I'm going to go into I already have a payload for this. We'll go to JavaScript XSS for fetch.txt. So I'm going to copy this payload. We'll put this into our text editor here. So what this is going to do is it's going to fetch from administrator to employee management, raw branch main. We're going to be getting that index.php since it's the default file path for what they did give us for the private repository. We're going to get the response.txt, get it, and then send it back to our server. So do this for 10.10. We'll get our IP address for 10.10.16.74. We'll run this on port 80. We'll get this config. We just specify parameters so we can differentiate between the config or between the data that we do get back, also from the URL. We just get the data and we just send it back to our server. So I'm gonna copy this. We'll go back to Git. I'm gonna go to my settings. We'll go to delete this repository. Go to test. Delete repository. Go to new repository. What is for test? Enter short URL. We'll enter this under the description. We have this for 10.10.16.74. So we can start a Python server, but in this case, I just have an official server. I want to do this for a PHP server. So I'll do this under my localhost for 80. We don't have any server here, so we just by default, this will go into HTTP, which can be for port 80. We'll go to create repository, go to new file. We'll go to test. Before actually creating a new file, let's go into here. We'll do I'm going to cat out the Alex. So we need to notify Jobert to actually view our repository. So we can actually do that by sending the subject to has the URL and then piping this out for send mail. So this will send mail to Jobert. He will check the subject. He'll be clicking on the description. So on the description that we did have for XSS, he'll click on that. So we'll just create a new file. Do this for test. Go to commit changes. If we go back, he's going to be clicking on this new test for the description. I'm not sure if this is under, if he needs to click this or he needs to just view the repository, but I'm guessing he does have to click this so we can execute the XSS. Because if I go back and I click this, we don't get anything back. I'm not sure why we don't get anything back, but we'll just send the email back. We'll just send the email and see if Jobert can click that. I'll view this page for us. It seems like this is auto deleting. So we'll go back, create a new repository for test. Create repository, new file, test, commit changes. If we go to test, we don't get a response back. Not too sure why, but let's go into test. We'll send the subject as Excel test, and just for the formatting, we need to do / for the spacing. So now we do the subject. We'll send the email to Jobert. Hopefully we're able to view it. So it doesn't seem like we get connection back. This changes to a, I don't know if this is going to make a difference. We'll go to localhost for 3000. Maybe we have this in our /easy hosts. So by default, servers have this. We'll go to localhost, go to test. Doesn't seem to be getting it. Let's see if we can start the server on port 8080. We'll delete this repository one more time. Your repository. We'll do this on port 8080. We'll do this for a test. Set the description for 8080. Create repository. We'll do this for test. Commit changes. Now, if we do send the email, let's go back into test. Then we finally get the GET request for our config. So I'm not sure why. Let's take a couple tries to finally get the admin to send it. I'm not too sure if it's because I specified 127.0.0.1, which shouldn't matter. It's still localhost for 3000. Anyway, specifying, if we do like /etc host, you'll find this as 127.0.0.1 for localhost. So maybe that's why, or maybe because these have to match for localhost. I'm not too sure, but also I did try a different port as well for 8080 for the PHP server. So maybe that's another reason why for not getting the request a couple times. So now this is going to be URL encoded. So I'm just going to put this into CyberChef. I'll put this into my input. We'll go to URL decode. And now we do have the valid username for admin and the password. I'm guessing it's going to be for root. So I'll switch users to root. Clear my terminals here. Enter the password. We do ID now under root. /slay. And we can cat our root.txt. Well guys, pretty much in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.